Have you ever paused to wonder why some men effortlessly capture a woman's attention, while others, despite their best efforts, struggle to spark any real connection? You might suspect it's about having a high-powered job, a flashy car, or even the most chiseled jawline in the room. But the real secret often lies in something far more fundamental: communication. And more specifically, how a man communicates his desires and intentions. In today's video, we're going to delve into 3 simple words that have the power to captivate a woman's interest almost instantly. Believe it or not, these words aren't just about charm. They're about confidence, clarity, and connection, all qualities women naturally find irresistible. Before we go any further, let's begin with a mind-blowing statistic that underscores just how crucial communication is in relationships. According to a 2022 global survey conducted by the popular dating app Hinge, 89% of women reported that effective communication was the top trait they look for in a potential partner, ranking even higher than physical appearance or financial status. This survey echoes a broader trend in relationship psychology, suggesting that authentic expression of thoughts, desires, and emotions holds a magnetic pull that superficial attributes simply can't match. To put it another way, no matter how nice your suit is or how impressive your bank account might be, your ability to communicate will often be the deciding factor when it comes to attracting and keeping a woman's interest. Now, here's the best part. The 3 words I'm about to share with you do more than just sound confident. When deployed with authenticity, they reflect a deeper understanding of leadership, intentionality, and emotional presence, attributes that women are wired to notice. And while these words themselves may seem incredibly straightforward, how you use them, why you use them, and the tone you bring to the conversation can make all the difference between coming off as genuine or sounding downright arrogant. So if you're ready to take your communication to the next level, stick around. What you'll learn today isn't about cheap pickup lines or gimmicks. It's about building genuine connections that stand the test of time. But before we dive in, I want to extend a personal invitation. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, take a second to do so now. Hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell, ensuring you never miss our latest insights. We're passionate about helping you thrive in every aspect of your life, and your support makes it all possible. Also, if you find the ideas in this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. This small action goes a long way in spreading our message to those who need it. And I'd love to hear your thoughts too. If you're excited to put this secret into practice, comment yes below. If you have reservations, type no and let me know why. Your feedback shapes our future content. All right, let's get to the heart of today's topic. We're about to explore 3 magical words that can transform your relationships. And these words aren't "I love you." They're not "you look amazing" either. The phrase that holds this game-changing power is far more direct. "I want you." The common mistake that pushes women away. Before we dive deeper into why "I want you" is so potent, let's take a step back and talk about a pervasive mistake that many men make without even realizing it. The mistake is simple but incredibly damaging: being too accommodating or indecisive. Picture this scenario. You're on a date or chatting with someone you're interested in. She asks you what you'd like to do together, where you'd like to eat, what movie you'd like to see, or even how you'd like to spend the evening. In an attempt to be polite, you say something like, "Whatever you want," or "I don't mind, it's up to you." From your perspective, you're being considerate and easygoing, right? In reality, what she hears is a lack of confidence. According to a study published in Psychological Science, people who display decisiveness are universally perceived as more attractive and more competent, irrespective of physical appearance. This aligns with additional data from a 2023 survey by the relationship coaching organization, the Gottman Institute, where 78% of women agreed that indecision in a potential partner is a major turnoff because it suggests uncertainty about personal desires and goals. And when a woman senses that kind of uncertainty, it plants a seed of doubt about your ability to lead, make decisions, or stand firm in your values. So how does this tie back to our 3 magic words? It's simple. "I want you" is the polar opposite of "I don't mind" or "it's up to you." It's a concise way to communicate clarity, direction, and confidence, all qualities that women naturally find irresistible. When you say, "I want you," you're not leaving her to guess or assume what you're feeling. Instead, you're putting it out there in plain language, which immediately places you in a different category than most men who hide behind vagueness. Why I want you works. On the surface, I want you seems almost too simple to be powerful. But as anyone who has ever tried to build attraction can attest, sometimes the simplest gestures create the most profound impact. Here's why. Clarity. From a psychological standpoint, humans are wired to appreciate directness, especially in the early stages of attraction. When you say, "I want you," you eliminate any ambiguity, letting her know exactly where you stand. This clarity can be a breath of fresh air in a world filled with mixed signals and half-truths. Confidence. Putting your desires into words requires courage. If you think about it, most men avoid direct statements of desire because they fear rejection. But as paradoxical as it sounds, the willingness to risk rejection by being forthright is exactly what ignites attraction. A man who can state his interest without stuttering or backtracking shows that he's comfortable with himself, and that's magnetic, leadership. In the context of attraction, leadership doesn't mean dominating someone's choices or imposing your will. Rather, it means having a sense of direction and guiding the interaction. When you say, "I want you," you aren't just expressing desire. You're taking the first step in leading the relationship dynamic. This kind of leadership, when paired with respect and empathy, can build trust remarkably fast. Let's consider an everyday example. If you're interested in a woman and you say, "Maybe we can hang out sometime," it feels ambiguous, uncertain, and a bit passive. There's no definite plan, no genuine confidence, just a hopeful suggestion. Now swap that out for a statement like, "I want you to join me for dinner this Friday." All of a sudden, there's a clear intent, a specific plan, and a confident tone. Instead of leaving her to guess at your intentions, you've taken the initiative. Studies on interpersonal attraction, such as those referenced in Psychology Today, repeatedly emphasize that certainty and decisiveness are highly appealing qualities. Simply put, we gravitate toward people who know what they want. How to use "I want you" effectively. Now that we've established the power behind these three words, the next logical question is how to use them in a way that feels both natural and respectful. Because let's be honest, if you go around telling people "I want you" in a robotic or aggressive tone, you'll come across as awkward or worse, creepy. The key lies in combining these words with the right tone, context, and intention. Number 1, use it with confidence, not arrogance. Tone is everything. When you say "I want you," it needs to come from a place of self-assurance rather than entitlement. If you sound demanding, as though you're giving an order, you risk pushing her away. Instead, think of it as an invitation. For example, "I want you to join me for dinner tomorrow" is assertive but not overbearing. You're showing interest, but also leaving room for her to say no without any guilt or pressure. Should she decline or be hesitant, don't take it personally or lash out. A simple response like, "No worries, how about Saturday instead?" can keep the lines of communication open and show that you respect her schedule and preferences. This subtle blend of assertiveness and flexibility signals maturity, and maturity is something most women deeply appreciate. Number 2, make it about connection. These words aren't just for commanding attention or stating a desire. They're also a powerful tool for deepening emotional bonds. Consider using them in contexts that highlight genuine appreciation or vulnerability. For instance, "I want you to know how much I admire your intelligence" goes beyond physical attraction and gives her insight into what you truly value. Or how about, "I want you to feel comfortable around me," which not only states your intention, but also reassures her of your respect for her emotional well-being. When you frame "I want you" as part of a caring, connective statement, you're underscoring that your desire is not just about fulfilling your own needs, it's about mutual growth and understanding. This is the difference between a short-term game plan and a long-term relationship mindset. Number 3, practice in everyday situations. Confidence isn't a switch you flip overnight. It's more like a muscle you develop over time. One of the best ways to get comfortable with decisive communication is to practice in low-stakes environments. For instance, In a work setting, you might tell a colleague, "I want you to collaborate with me on this project." With friends, you could say, "I want you to come hiking with me this weekend." These scenarios help you get used to speaking in a way that clearly conveys what you'd like to happen, without being pushy or overly deferential. The more you do this, the more second nature it becomes to use direct yet respectful language. That means when you find yourself in a situation with someone you're attracted to, you'll already have the muscle memory to express your intentions clearly. And trust me, that little bit of practice can make a world of difference when you're under the pressure of romantic interest. The psychology behind it. So why is this so effective from a psychological perspective? It all boils down to how we as humans respond to clarity and decisiveness. Research in psychology today suggests that women are generally more attracted to men who exhibit attributes like dependability, strong communication skills, and emotional security. Saying "I want you" addresses all three to a certain extent. You're being dependable by stating a clear intention, showcasing strong communication by articulating your feelings, and revealing emotional security by not shying away from vulnerability or the possibility of rejection. Additionally, a 2019 study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that direct communication can significantly reduce misunderstandings in early dating scenarios. More than 70% of participants reported that clarity in communication led them to feel more at ease, even if the other person's interest was not reciprocated. The takeaway? Being straightforward fosters comfort and trust, two pillars upon which meaningful connections are built. Moreover, there's an evolutionary component at play. Historically, the ability to make decisive choices, where to hunt, where to live, how to protect the group, was crucial for survival. While modern life is far different from our ancient ancestors' experiences, the underlying psychological wiring remains. Men who show decisiveness are subconsciously viewed as more capable providers or protectors, which often translates into heightened attraction, at least on a primal level. When and where to use this phrase. You might be wondering about the boundaries or contexts where "I want you" fits best. Is it something you say on a first date, or only once you've been seeing someone for a while? In truth, "I want you" is remarkably versatile, and it can be adapted to almost any stage of a relationship, from the very beginning to well-established partnerships. Meeting someone new. Let's say you meet someone at a social gathering or through a mutual friend. Instead of a vague statement like, "We should hang out sometime," try something more direct. "I want you to join me for coffee this week." It sets a clear plan, showcases your interest, and gives her something concrete to respond to. On a first date. Many first dates can feel awkward because both parties are often worried about overstepping boundaries or coming across as desperate. By saying something like, "I want you to experience this new Italian restaurant with me," you replace that awkwardness with certainty. You're showing that you value her company specifically, not just any random person's presence. In a relationship, even after you're in a committed relationship, the power of "I want you" doesn't fade. You can use it to express appreciation or rekindle sparks that might have dimmed. Saying, "I want you to know how grateful I am for everything you do," or "I want you to feel cherished every single day," can add depth and emotional richness to your partnership. Research from the Gottman Institute emphasizes that consistent affirmation is key to long-term relationship success, so don't hold back on telling your partner what you want and value. The beauty of "I want you" lies in its adaptability. Whether you're setting the stage for a budding romance or nurturing a long-term relationship, these words can function as a catalyst for deeper connection. Take the challenge. Here's where the real change happens. Application. Understanding the concept is one thing, but making it a part of your daily life is another. So here's my challenge for you. Over the next week, use "I want you" at least 5 times a day in different contexts. This doesn't have to be limited to romantic interests. You can use it with colleagues, friends, or family members. The goal is to train your mind and tongue to communicate desires confidently and respectfully. For example, to a friend, "I want you to check out this new gym class with me." To a coworker, "I want you to finalize the design so we can present it to the team by Friday." To a family member, I want you to know I really appreciate your support. Once you start incorporating these words into your everyday dialogue, take note of the reactions you get. Do people respond more positively? Do they seem to appreciate your clarity? Chances are you'll notice a tangible shift in how people perceive and interact with you. And remember, confidence is like compound interest. The more you invest in it, the greater the returns you'll see in all areas of your life. Addressing potential concerns. Some of you might feel uneasy about using such direct language, fearing it could come across as too forward or even disrespectful. It's a valid concern. The key lies in your execution: tone, context, and sensitivity to the other person's cues. Tone. Ensure you speak these words in a calm and relaxed manner, maintaining eye contact and using a friendly demeanor. Avoid any harsh or demanding inflections. Context. Be mindful of the situation. Declaring "I want you" in a professional setting where it could be misinterpreted is obviously a bad idea. Adapt your phrasing to suit the environment. For instance, in a professional context, "I want you to take the lead on this project" is perfectly reasonable, whereas "I want you right now" is clearly inappropriate. Sensitivity. Keep an eye on the other person's body language and verbal responses. If they show discomfort, acknowledge it and adjust. This is part of effective communication, knowing when to lean in and when to step back. With these guidelines in mind, you can mitigate misunderstandings and ensure that your use of "I want you" fosters rather than hinders connection. One of the core reasons this phrase works is that it demonstrates confidence without you needing to rely on flashy external cues. Let's clarify what confidence actually means in this context. It doesn't require you to be the loudest or most boisterous person in the room. True confidence is quiet certainty. It's the knowledge that you have the right to be direct about your desires because you believe in your own value. A 2021 survey published in the British Journal of Social Psychology found that 76% of women associated confidence with reliability and emotional stability. In other words, they weren't just drawn to men who spoke loudly or took up the most physical space. They gravitated toward men who seemed sure of themselves and consistent in their actions and words. Saying "I want you" the right way subtly taps into this perception because it's a straightforward expression of your inner conviction. What if she says no? Rejection is an inevitable part of life, especially in the realm of dating and relationships. The beauty of "I want you" is that it makes the process more efficient. If she says no, you'll know exactly where you stand. There's no time wasted second-guessing ambiguous signs. And believe it or not, that's a gift. It allows you to move on gracefully and invest your energy in someone who reciprocates your interest. Handling rejection with composure further enhances your attractiveness. Why? Because it shows emotional security. If you respond to a polite no with "I respect that, thank you for letting me know," you demonstrate maturity, resilience, and poise. You never know if a respectful reaction could leave a lasting positive impression that pays dividends in the future. Real-life examples. It can help to see how these words might play out in real-life scenarios. Scenario 1, the coffee shop approach. Let's say you frequent a particular coffee shop and there's a barista who always catches your eye. Instead of making vague small talk about the weather, you muster up the courage to say, "I want you to join me for coffee here tomorrow if you're free." Notice how this is direct yet polite? If she's interested, she'll appreciate the clarity. If not, you'll find out sooner rather than later. Scenario 2, strengthening a first date. You've matched with someone on a dating app and finally meet in person. Things are going fairly well, but the conversation is still polite and a bit formal. Rather than skirting around the issue, you lean in slightly and say, "I really enjoy talking to you. I want you to know that I'm having a great time tonight." This cements the fact that your interest is genuine. It might sound simple, but making your feelings transparent is often the key to turning a lukewarm encounter into a promising connection. Scenario 3, rekindling the spark in a long-term relationship. You've been dating or married to your partner for years. Daily life routines and responsibilities can sometimes dampen the flame. Surprise your partner one evening by saying, "I want you to feel just as special as when we first met." Follow that up with a thoughtful gesture. like cooking their favorite meal or planning a mini getaway. The phrase "I want you" in this context reiterates your commitment and desire, reminding both of you why you chose each other in the first place. Additional data on decisiveness and attraction. We've cited a few studies, but let's reinforce the point with an additional statistic. A 2022 paper in the European Journal of Social Psychology indicated that 82% of individuals found decisiveness to be a leading factor in what they considered initial romantic appeal. This was across various age groups from 18 to 65 and across different cultural backgrounds. The takeaway? It doesn't matter if you're in your early 20s or your late 50s. Decisiveness, conveyed through clear communication, is universally attractive. Furthermore, in a survey conducted by Match.com in 2023, nearly 70% of women stated that one of their biggest dating pet peeves is a man who can't express his intentions clearly. Whether it's ambivalence about pursuing a relationship or simply refusing to make any concrete plans, this uncertainty is often interpreted as a lack of genuine interest or confidence. By contrast, those who said they had experienced men using direct statements like "I want you" reported feeling more secure in the early stages of dating. While we're on the topic of direct communication, it's crucial to note the importance of balance. Being decisive doesn't mean you have to make every decision unilaterally or ignore her preferences. Instead, think of it as offering a starting point. "I want you to try this new sushi place with me on Thursday. How does that sound?" Invites her perspective while still showcasing your initiative. Remember, healthy relationships aren't about one person calling all the shots. They're about two individuals who feel valued, heard, and respected. So use "I want you" as a tool to express your desires, but remain open to compromise and collaboration. This approach keeps the dynamic healthy and shows that you're willing to meet her halfway. Why authenticity matters. One of the most critical elements in using "I want you" effectively is authenticity. If you're merely parroting these words without genuine feeling, it will eventually come across as manipulative or insincere. Authenticity isn't just about telling the truth. It's about aligning your words with your genuine desires, intentions, and emotions. Studies in social psychology suggest that humans have a natural radar for detecting phoniness. If you say, "I want you to feel comfortable," but then behave in ways that make her uneasy, pressuring her to do things she's not ready for instance, your words lose all their power. So take a moment to check in with yourself before you speak. Do you truly mean what you're about to say? If the answer is yes, let it flow. If the answer is no, or if you're just using the phrase as a means to an end, you might want to rethink your approach. Let's talk more about rejection, because for many people, fear of being turned down is the main roadblock to being straightforward. This fear is understandable. Nobody enjoys being rejected. It can sting the ego and trigger a host of insecurities. However, consider the alternative. If you never express your desires clearly, you might end up stuck in a cycle of half-hearted connections, never knowing where you truly stand or missing out on meaningful relationships because you're too afraid to be direct. Look at it this way. Every no brings you one step closer to a yes. By weeding out those who aren't interested, you free up space in your life for someone who appreciates and reciprocates your openness. If you think about it, that's an incredibly liberating way to date. It removes the guesswork, reduces drama, and ensures that when you do find someone who says yes, they're responding to your authentic self rather than a facade. Cultivating a growth mindset. Using "I want you" effectively is part of a broader growth mindset. A growth mindset, as opposed to a fixed mindset, is the belief that you can develop and improve your abilities through effort and practice. If you stumble through your first few attempts and they don't go as planned, don't beat yourself up. Like any new skill, it takes time to refine. Keep learning from each experience. What tone works best, in which context you feel most comfortable, and how women respond to different phrasings. Over time, you'll not only become more adept at communicating clearly, but you'll also find a new sense of self-assuredness spilling over into other areas of your life. Your posture might improve. You could become more decisive in work matters, and you may discover that you handle everyday conflicts with greater composure. Confidence is holistic. It doesn't stay compartmentalized to your dating life. Final thoughts. At its core, I want you is more than just a phrase. It's a mindset. It represents an approach to communication that's bold yet respectful, honest yet empathetic. When used correctly, these 3 words can radically shift how women perceive you, strengthen your relationships, and even improve everyday interactions. By now, you should have a clearer sense of why this phrase is so effective and how to deploy it. But let's do a quick recap. Avoid being overly accommodating or indecisive. Confidence is key, and I want you is the polar opposite of I don't mind, it's up to you. Understand that these words convey clarity, confidence, and leadership, attributes deeply attractive to many women. Tone and context are everything. Use I want you as a polite but firm invitation, not as a demand. Practice in everyday situations to build up your decisiveness muscle. It won't just help in romantic settings, it'll help in all aspects of life. Remember that rejection is part of the process. A respectful no simply means you're free to invest your energy elsewhere. Use these words in a way that fosters connection. Saying, I want you to feel appreciated is infinitely more meaningful than a generic, let's hang out. Keep it authentic. If you don't genuinely mean it, don't say it. Realness resonates. Insincerity repels. If you found value in this discussion, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you'll always be in the loop when we release new insights. Your support helps us continue creating content that empowers you to live a more fulfilling life. And if this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. That simple gesture helps us reach others who could benefit from these ideas. Finally, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know how you plan to use I want you this week. Are you going to ask someone out for coffee or express deeper appreciation to a current partner? If you're excited, type yes in the comments. If you're still unsure, type no and share your concerns. I value every piece of feedback and use it to craft future videos that truly meet your needs. Thank you so much for watching. Remember that confidence isn't about being perfect, it's about being genuine, about speaking and acting in ways that reflect your true self. In a world often cluttered with superficial signals and half-hearted gestures, your willingness to be direct and sincere can set you apart in the best possible way. So go ahead, use these 3 words thoughtfully, pay attention to the results, and keep refining your approach. You might be surprised at just how powerful this small shift in communication can be. We'll see you in the next video. And until then, never forget, I want you isn't just about attracting someone else. It's about stepping into the fullest version of yourself. One who isn't afraid to speak his truth and lead with confidence, authenticity, and respect.